Episode 189. Focus on being productive, not on being busy.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
And welcome to the very best podcast in the world, your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and happiness. That was quite the energetic intro. Welcome to episode 189, and where we're going to be focusing on being productive and not on being busy. Because, if you are busy, you're managing your time poorly, which means you cannot be productive or creative or, whatever ifs you pursue at the beginning of the day and hopefully at the end. So in that sense, let us do the housekeeping. Thoughts are my own, yada, yada, yada. And they're mine. Don't steal them. Well, share them because sharing is caring. And so, if this episode, resonates well with you, why are you not clicking the share button in your favorite podcast app right now to send it to your friends who may also benefit? Those people who have to, who are totally anal about being busy, because then they appear important. Fact of the matter is, if you appear busy to me, the number one conclusion I have is that you have poor time management, right? You're trying to catch up with shit. There's things you can merge, things you can, combine and, make use of your brain while you're doing stupid repetitive tasks or, whatever it is at the end of the day. There's loads of shit you can do to make your time more productive, which at the end of the day will give you more time that you can dedicate towards really interesting / money-making / whatever stuff. It's just that you have the time, that you cut out the time for creativity in the rest of your day. Hope that makes sense. Well, actually, so being busy is totally overrated. There's a bunch of old timers in particular. When you talk to them, and they're like, "Oh, you're not busy," and I'm like, "Nope, I'm good. Thank you very much. I've done all my chores while listening to my podcasts. I've done, all of the other shit that I need to do while listening to music, or watching a YouTube video." When I'm at the screen, or, I'm reading something while I'm taking a dump or, whatever, and, listen to a podcast or to a news show when I'm under the shower, or, there's tons of stuff you can combine. And that at the end of the day, again, will give you more available time. Now, where does this really stem from, right? It's like, go back 50 years, when we didn't have all the computers and, all of that good stuff, right? You were working, I don't know, at a production plant somewhere, or you were working on a construction site. Let's take those folks, whatever that may be, labor work. And at the end of the day, if you were standing around with your hands in your pocket, you would get shat upon, because you took the time and the energy to find shit you can do, no matter how useless it was. And let me give you an example. So when I was in my roller coaster school years, up and way down, I was, pretty much of the lowest level of schooling you could get to in Germany. because computers were more important and alcohol was more important and drugs were more important and the ladies were becoming very, very, very interesting. And So, my school career was, kind of like going down the toilet. Also, because it didn't mean anything to me. And, the ways I solved problems didn't really make sense to my teachers. So, interesting shit. Nonetheless, that, gave me gave me the opportunity to do an internship as a, 16, 17-year-old. Don't know. I don't remember actually. Must have been around those years though, because those were very hazy and still are in my memory. But, it's a positive, well-smelling haze. Anyhow, I was, internship at that lowest level of schooling meant, you can only do those kind of shitty jobs in the future. So I said, hey, let's try out the bricklayer thing. It was summer, pleasant, early summer, whatever. Got light early, so loads of work to do, a certain number of hours and whatever. And the old guy, the old bricklayer, the owner of the company, he was like, there was one situation I'll never forget it. I was standing beside the truck because it was like, a minute after leave, end of day, whatever you want to call it. What's it called? End of shift. You get the point. And I don't know why, but I had my hands in my pocket. So this small dude, old guy, white beard, white hair, and his golden teeth, and his this dude was always smiling, and he was like, "Are you going on a trip?" And, you're young and you're hazed up a bit, and you're like, "No, why?" Because he said, "Well, you got your hands already packed up in your bags," meaning in my pockets, because I was standing beside the truck with my hands in my pockets, expecting to get on the truck and go home. And I noticed that everyone in the company was looking for shit to do just to appear busy, because the old guy was, so anal about everybody appearing to be busy. And that was just an interesting experience. His son, on the other hand, had a totally different attitude. He was, he was this, charismatic person in a very positive sense. Even when he was laying bricks, he had a cigarette in his mouth. Couldn't use his hands to, get rid of the ash or anything. But, he had his cigarette on the tooth, as he would say. And he was really busy, but he would also take the time to sit down and talk shit and explain stuff to you in, an orderly fashion. I remember, having to put plaster on the wall, and there was a certain technique that you had to understand to get it to stick. So the old guy, gives me the material, he gives me the tools that I need, takes the whatever it's called, dish or spatula or whatever, and throws the stuff at the wall, and it sticks. And then he's like, "Hey, I got to go to another construction site. Here, there you go." Right? And I was sitting there for, I don't know, north of 5 hours trying to get this shit on there and trying to figure out the technique. So a young guy walks in a few hours later. I don't know if they'd forgotten about me. It felt like that. But, the guy was like, "Nah, you're doing it all wrong. Look, here, this is how you do it. This is the angle that you gotta throw it at. And, hey, how's the ladies front doing? Do you have some weed? That kind of ordeal." Right. But it was much more pleasant because he wasn't really, he wanted to be productive. He wanted to get shit done. Right. While the old guy was all about being busy and appearing busy to everyone else so that you're worth your money. Right. You're getting paid by the hour. So we want every minute of the hour to be busy. And, and so, this busy work that he gave me, interestingly, turned out to be something that could be very productive if you just take the time to explain to someone, that this is how it's done correctly, and then, it works. And there's a difference in generations. That's why I meant in the beginning that, it's a lot about old timers that have this mentality that you have to appear busy, right? But we're not in those times anymore, right? These times are about reading, understanding, being creative, and getting shit on the road, being fucking productive. And getting shit on the road isn't today anymore what it was 50 years ago, about just, doing something, because you're getting paid by the hour. Today, you're getting paid by results. So, and the world has become so much more complex that you've got to do shitloads of reading to understand something. Then you have to be creative enough in your head to put this, to put the pieces of the puzzle together for the whole thing to work, for you to understand it. And then you need to bring it on the road. So I was so fucking excited and I banged the microphone. Sorry about that. So, where was I? So, a lot has changed since then. And I think that's what the old timers, they still kind of reminisce the good old times where you were just busy and you got shit done. Well, today there's a lot of stuff leading up to getting shit done. Old timers, that's why you suck at cell phones, because you don't take the fucking time to understand them. Now, I think, a lot of stuff is about optimizing routines, right? I mentioned that, it's doing, shit that needs to be done and is, quite stale and, just straight out fucking boring. Spice it up with something that can, maybe intellectually challenge you. Or, if you need a laugh, just listen to a comedy podcast or whatever. It's about optimizing your time, right? That's at the end of the day what it boils down to. If you have routines, kind of took that out of context, but if you have routines that are optimizable, it doesn't take a lot of brain juice to optimize shit that you do all day. It's just that you're stuck in it for so long that, you think that that's the best. No, it's about constantly optimizing the shit you do. Talked about that in the Kaizen episode. At the end of the day, it's about fucking optimizing your entire life. And in that case, you will gain so much momentum in productivity that you don't really fucking need to be busy anymore, because things just work. And the time you get out of that by optimizing your routines, optimizing your times, and essentially optimizing your life, that's the result. And, those people who need to be busy, who need to appear to be busy, they're looking for justification a lot of times, because at the end of the day, they don't have the intellectual capacity to figure out the new things in the world and how the world works now. So, with that being said, I hope I didn't piss too many people off, too many old timers off. But it was worth definitely making this distinction between being and appearing busy versus productivity and getting shit on the road really hard. So in that sense, I hope I made sense. And other than that, have a successful Thursday. And if you've already had your successful Thursday, be productive tomorrow and go to bed now. And we'll be in touch tomorrow where we're going to do another Exercise Friday, which I'm really, really, really fucking looking forward to. So in that sense, peace out and see you tomorrow, folks.